I was 25 years old when I met the love of my life and I got married. I expected that I was going to want to have kids like really soon after getting married, but for some reason we were discontent. Like my husband and I really enjoyed each other. We loved being around each other. We rock climbed, we hiked, we camped. We had so much fun together. If you're wondering who's making all the dinosaur noises, this is Russell. He's a product from that marriage. That's coming in the story soon. But we just like were content. We enjoyed our marriage and we were married for 5 years without even desiring to start a family. And you guys, like, literally from like the moment my mom birthed me, I wanted to be a mom, but I just was really content. After we'd been married for 5 years, we decided to start trying. We got pregnant on our first try, which often makes me feel like a little bit of like guilt because I know so many people struggle with fertility, but that's not the story that God had for us. We had a perfect pregnancy. I love being pregnant. You guys, I was like the cutest pregnant person. I had this massive belly. Um, and we delivered Hazel. And we brought her home from the hospital. So some of you have maybe heard this part of the story before, but she was acting kind of funny overnight. So we brought her home from the hospital. She's acting kind of funny overnight. We decided to bring her back the next day. So we brought her back to the hospital, and the doctor took one look at her. She stopped breathing, and they ran her down the hall. And just picture any ER movie you've ever seen as your baby's getting grabbed out of your own arms, and you walk into a room, and there's like 7 people pounding away at her, your 2-day-old baby. This is one of the hardest moments in my life where I experienced like the highest high of highs called becoming a mom, and then the lowest low of lows saying, Lord, are you going to take our baby away? As I look back at this story, I realize why God had intended us to be married for 5 years was because he knew that we were going to enter into being parents together, which was as a hard enough journey as it is. But not only just parents, we were going to become special needs parents overnight without warning. We spent 30 days in the NICU with Hazel. When we left the NICU, we were told she's got global brain damage. Basically, she's going to be a vegetable. And we took her home. If you are curious of what Hazel's like now, you should scroll through my page because I have some videos of her. She's not a vegetable. But as the story continues, Hazel turned 3, and we decided that we wanted to try for another kid. We had been told by genetics that her disorder was not genetic. We'd also been warned by our neurologist that there is a possibility that the testing could have been false and that it could be genetic. So we tried for another, found out I was pregnant with Russell, and diagnosed with cancer. So Russ, say hi. Russell and I went through 4 rounds of chemo while I was pregnant. When he was born at 35 weeks, he had hair and I had no hair. By the way, if you're walking through hair loss and you need help, message me because I'm like a pro at regrowing hair post chemo. Anyways, so Russell was born and he was born normal. We were shocked because I had a radical hysterectomy. I became cancer free overnight, and we had a perfectly normal, beautiful baby boy, which is what we'd always dreamt of until he started acting funny too. And we knew right away he was having seizures just like his sister, and we knew at that point it was genetic. So we find ourselves here today, walking around in our yard in East Tennessee. I have 2 special needs kids with a very rare genetic disorder that the doctors tell us that they will die from. There's 6 kids in the world with this disorder, well, 7, maybe 8 or 9 by now. And the oldest documented case lived till they were 9 years old. You guys, needless to say, like, I live a freaking crazy life. I live a crazy, crazy life. And if you want to follow along, here's why, actually, that you want to follow along. It's because God has gifted me in this way. He's gifted me in a way of how to see joy among suffering, and I want to teach you how to do the same. I believe that we get to decide how our stories are told. We get to decide if they're stories of faith or if they're stories of not faith. I decided at a very early stage in this story that I was going to be a mom that got out of bed. I was going to be a mom that woke up early. I was going to be a mom that hustled and grew a business. I was going to be a mom that started a movement called the Hazelnut Movement. Find us on Instagram, by the way, that changes lives. At some point in the story, I decided to launch a TikTok, and here I am with a TikTok account that's absolutely exploding. And you guys, it's not for me. I don't do this for me. I don't really even do this for the kids because I know that they're not going to live very long. You know, I have two kids, they're nonverbal. Russell's almost 3, doesn't walk. Hazel's 5.5 and walks like a drunken sailor. I do it for you guys. Like, I do it for the people that, the lives that I get to impact. The people that message me and they say, you know, I saw one of your videos and it like literally was the perfect timing. Like, God used your video to inspire me or to encourage me, or, you know, like used your life in a certain way. That's why I do this. I run a business where I get to coach women on how to generate a income working from home with their babies, which I'm super passionate about. I get to help women regrow their hair post chemo, and I get to share a video on TikTok. And live in East Tennessee here, building a small farm where we have pigs, egg chickens, meat birds are coming soon, a cat, koi fish, and beautiful birds chirping in the background. So I guess I would say my call to action for you guys is to follow along, to let this story of mine inspire you and to remind you that you can do amazing things too. I want you to go to Amazon right now and I want you to buy my book called Hazelnut, It's Time to Get Up. It's going to blow your mind. It's amazing. It's a kid's story. I want you to follow us on Instagram, the Hazelnut Movement, because we're doing amazing things in school and education. And I just want you to be inspired. And I want to hear about the things, the decisions that you're making, the things that you're doing, all because you decided to scroll TikTok one day and you landed on my page.